Hey all, is my voice audible? Yeah. So, hi, I'm Mohit, and this talk is mainly about how we can leverage AI agents to build immersive experiences in the browser itself. So, before starting further, I would like to give a teaser on what is possible currently using AI agents. So, this is the couple of demos which I've recorded from the immersive web adventures. So, these are like I've just recorded a couple of them only, but these are actively maintained by the core contributors of the SDK, which we'll be talking now. So before starting further, like just to give set the context, the tech stack already exists. Like we have WebXR API, which is the browser API, which allows you to build, you can say immersive experiences, but it's quite low level. So we have 3JS, which sits on top of it, which is the 3D rendering engine. And again, we have our JavaScript and TypeScript, which is basically to write the logic. But if you're interested in the to have a React, use the React paradigm, you have React 3 Fiber ecosystem, for which I've also given a talk previously in React Nexus. If you're interested, you can check that out. So the main goal, what I'm trying to say is that the tech stack already exists, but still we are not seeing a lot of, you can say, immersive experiences out in the wild. There can be a lot of challenges with regards to that, but I'll just highlight one of the things which at least was a blocker for me personally was I needed to own a headset in the first place to do any kind of validation in the first place. And you need to do a lot of manual testing and verification. It's not just you're building it for the 2D, like with the browser or mobile. You have to visualize the whole 3D spatial thinking. So without AI agents, currently what will happen? Like you'll write the code, then you'll manually verify it using a VR headset or maybe your mobile, and then you'll just debug it for even a pixel changes you in the 3D space. You can imagine your this conference room as a whole as well. Like imagine just putting a cube in the somewhere and just testing it out. It's very difficult in that way. But with AI agents, this thing changes. Basically, now you're mostly interacting or giving a prompt. Like you need to focus more on your prompting skills or planning skills. But basically, now, however, we are doing it in our day-to-day jobs as well in with that regards. And you give the feedback, and obviously, AI will based because of the SDK, it will allow AI to have more context where it can interact with the immersive environment, it can capture screenshot, it can review results, iterate. It will become more clear when I show the demo. And just to summarize, the SDK is quite like it is giving a lot of things, but I've oversimplified it. It allows currently to give you MCP tools where you can interact with the like it's basically exposes the MCP server, which I'll show in the code demo, and then it obviously gives a playwright browser instance which allows you to run the app, reload the app, have you can see the console log error, which we normally do from a developer perspective, and we get a runtime as well. The controller, you can access the virtual headset and controller. Just to be on the same page, the runtime can be used without the AI agents as well. So let's build something. I've already went and I had the basic scaffolding. Everything, whatever I'm showing is came out of the box. I did not do any kind of setup for this. So just to show you like what we get from the runtime. So this is the what we get from the runtime. Now let me show you from the prompt, which I've already went and written it. It's quite detailed actually. So let me just first and just a side note, it supports all the major. Basically, the SDK supports all the major providers like Claude, Codex, Cursor, etc. And let me just paste the point. It might take some time. Before that, one second, I'll just stop it also. I'll just stop this. Come to Wheat. This is a Wheat config, and I'll just make it to oversight for now. I'll explain the reason behind it, and I'll do an and I'll just paste the prompt again. So this is the one which is exposed to the browser. And this, if you see, it's a playwright controlled browser instance which AI agent has access to it. So now it's basically calling a couple of tools. And just to show you, like for Claude, it has basically installed a couple of MCP servers. One is the IW SDK runtime, which is exposing a lot of things like the playwright browser instance and the emulation environment, etc. And you have references which is basically for docs, and this another server is for MetaQuest headset, which is not relevant much for this talk at least. And with regards to why I've done the white config, like now what I'm showing you is like in an oversight mode. So you will be basically be seeing whatever the AI agent is going to do. But if we want to just write a prompt and validate the end so that the human is not in the middle of the loop, but he or she will verify the end, whatever is the final output, obviously with a device validation if required. But as you can see, a lot of tool calls have happened. I'll just show something should have come by now. Let's see. So the spheres are already in place. And I'll just, I have told it to verify using controller, but in the meantime, I'll show you from my side that I can interact with those spheres as well. And just to share what was the prompt about initially, it was just to show some 24 random spheres in random locations and make them interactable because you don't get button click by default. So we need to specifically mention that. And I did this prompt later on after prompting again. It's like prompt engineering again here also same thing, where I've tried to give it more context so that it doesn't give me any kind of surprises there. And at the end, I've explicitly mentioned that whatever tools, MCP tools calls you need to make, like controller write, etc. So now let's see. Sorry. So these are all the MCP calls which are happening. If you see. So the AI agent has basically gone inside the immersive experience and it will query whatever spheres exist using the MCP tool. And it got a couple of console logs as well through playwright instance from the MCP. And it's saying that it knows that 24 spheres exist in the immersive environment. I think it's taking too much time. Let's see. So now the controller will change its position and it will try to click. I've already went ahead in this session, allowed access. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of prompts coming up to allow access. That's why it's not asking me a lot of approve all, etc. Cool. So overall, like the main purpose was to show that it's possible, like, to build immersive experience now without a lot of, you can say, headaches, or you can say, like, you don't need a headset from day one. You can use AI agents as a whole for prompting and planning for the world building, etc. And obviously, human comes. It's all whenever you want, you can take over, but you can avoid and you can, or you can have the device very soon and at the end also. And if you're interested to know more, you can check out the Immersive Web Adventures. They are publishing a lot of more immersive experience, and they have more detailed logs. Like literally, like whatever prompts they had given, whatever tools they had, tool calls happened for the AI agents, and whatever learnings were there. I think that's it from my side.